streaming by an accident.
Oh,
Why not?
okay.
Hello, people. Welcome to Snupcast 4. Follow us on Twitch if you'd like to. Oh, we're already on Twitch. I don't even need to disclose this. Streaming by an accident. People are.
Why not?
Okay.
No. I messed up, boys. This is my
Oh,
first
good
time
job.
hosting. I messed up.
Oh, good job.
They can hear
Okay.
this twice. They can hear this twice. I don't know what to do. Help me,
Well,
boys. Help me,
well,
boys. Help me. We're some of the dumbest people
Well,
on
you know
Twitch.
what? What we can do? It's very simple. We can just mute the Twitch. People can just pretend that they can hear us.
Yes. Today Shikaroxen is gonna talk about his absence. Although that's quite funny because he's here. Then we're gonna talk about the Pico Cassette. More of that soon. And there is a rumor that Nintendo NX, the next console, is gonna use cartridges again. Isn't that fucking weird?
cartridges. Who
Yes.
the fuck uses cartridges?
I don't
Oh,
know.
wait.
We do.
And Summer Stream 16, we can disclose, I guess, some of the games we play in the schedule a bit, so you guys can hear it first on our Snupcast. Oh yeah. And then I'm gonna talk about Mega Man in like 5 different topics. And some
Isn't that what we
favorite
always
games.
talk about, though?
Yes. And also, where the fuck is the next episode of Snupster's Race Mega Man? We'll answer that question. So,
That's actually a good question.
yes, it is. Nate. So, I guess we'll go ahead and start with Shikaroxen talking about his absence, even though he's actually really here.
For the moment.
Hello, people. Hello, Shikaroxen.
Hi, Nico.
I'm waiting for your script.
Hi, Shikaroxen.
Right. Script. Yeah. This is how it works. So Nico pretty much gave me last minute prep here.
Preparedness.
Yes. The reason why I am not in episodes that often anymore is because I have found new joy in life, and it is called Final Fantasy X.
Oh
HD
god.
remake.
Ah,
What can I say?
Oh.
Yeah, no. First of all, our main content that we were supposed to be making, for the sake of it, were the seasons of the Mega Man races. Of which that is also the most time-consuming episode to make because of the practice that follows.
For sure.
And due to the time investment in that particular series, I just don't have time to put into it anymore. There's been various obstacles and variables as to why, but most recently, I got me a woman.
I got me a woman.
Yep, she's in the basement.
A woman with second-degree skin cancer. So my priorities have shifted from playing Mega Man to actually enjoying what time I have with her.
Mhm.
And that's really the core of it.
somebody's
I-
phone.
Not mine.
That's not mine. I don't have a phone. I'm too poor.
I heard it.
Maybe it was mine. You shut your mouth.
So yeah, I mean, when it comes down to it, that's pretty much the main reason. And I simply cannot spend weekends or my free time on weekdays after work practicing Mega Man anymore.
Yeah, because not many people realize how much time it actually takes. And we have like, 6 new games here.
It takes a lot, and
Yeah.
especially like this season as well, where I'm pretty much blind to all of the titles. I did want to be in of it from the get-go, but it just never happened. Time already to invest in it was pretty large as it was, and I was feeling burnt from season 3 regardless.
We're gonna have to take a look at it again on season 5 and see what the situation is at that point.
I miss it. Initially, I want to be in it, but that's out of question at the moment right now.
Yeah, you will, however, see Shikaroxen in individual episodes, I believe.
I will be part of Deranged and some other episodes eventually.
Yeah.
You will still hear my bullshit, and Nico will still have to make a counter for it.
Yes. Ding! No, I don't have to make it. I'll just say ding every time. If that's okay.
So,
Half-Life 3 confirmed.
Yes.
Half-Life 3 confirmed.
You heard it here.
We'll never see that fucking game. I swear to God. I'm not even sure why we want it. Why the fuck do we want Half-Life 3?
I played part of Half-Life 1, like half the game. Haha.
Yeah.
It wasn't really that good. I mean, it was good for its time, obviously, but I don't see the fascination about it.
No. Well, moving on to the Pico Cassettes. And I'm curious...
Nico was copyright for that one, so they had to use Pico.
Yes. Nico Cassettes. I'm curious to know what Ultima thinks about it. You were starting to rant about it before we even started the podcast, so have at it, boy.
Well, the thing that I'm curious about with the Pico Cassette, like, just to give you an idea of what it is it's a little thing that you use. It's like a little cartridge, and you plug it into the audio jack or audio port of your phone. I think they said smartphones, but I don't know. Could be maybe Android compatible. But anyways, they're making this little thing. You plug it into the audio jack, and I'm not sure what to think. Like, I mean, if you want to use headphones or something, does the cartridge come with an audio jack? Or...
Yeah, and
I mean-
is the phone gonna read that there is an audio device plugged in, as it usually does?
That is something interesting, because, I mean, what you just mentioned, you know, is the phone going to detect it as an audio device? I mean, is it going to go, hey... And it's really interesting that they're choosing to plug it into the audio...
That's a nice pair of headphones you have there.
Well, you may joke about it, but cell phone technology has actually been using the headphone jacks for a lot of technology.
Yes, I'm aware of this, but it's just funny to me. But I don't know
I
about
find the
this
whole
one.
concept redundant. It's just bullshit.
I don't play games on my phone regardless, but, like, I just don't get it. Play
Here's the
retro
thing,
games
they're-
on your phone.
They're basically targeting retro gamers or an old audience using cell phones. Now, when in the hell would you play a retro game on your cell phone? Even if it's a Mega Man title or a Mario title, if you want to beat it, unless you can save in the middle of the fucking game, that's gonna take at least 40 minutes to beat most of the games,
Yes.
which you simply won't do on a lunch break. Why would you even do it on a lunch break? Most adults growing up with these games are probably busy with work. You probably will not play it at home, since you most likely have an emulator on the PC. So when is this gonna be applicable in real life? And for what audience? That's my issue with it.
No,
Public
Because it looks like
transportation.
fucking shit.
no, just
Public
get the DS. Get the DS in your sets.
Like, I
The
can
prob-
see where the audience goes with this, but public transportation was my number one opportunity. I would think that you would have a good shot to play it.
Yeah, but the problem I've always had with that kind of stuff is the controls. It's really difficult to take a retro game that's like
Yeah.
a action game and play it with your screen acting as a controller.
Yeah, you have 40% of your like screen state is gonna take up your fingers. You can't see shit.
Here's the thing, I
Now-
did play The Walking Dead on my iOS tablet, which works just fine because it is a point clicker. But I also know they did release Final Fantasy or most of the old school Final Fantasies for iOS.
Yeah, RPGs are fine.
I,
'Cause
Yeah.
I
it's
played
not action.
I played Final Fantasy 1 for the major parts of the game, and it worked, but it was also ATB, Active Time Battle, so you take turns on it.
I just don't know about this.
I just
wouldn't-
cannot see myself running like Mario or Mega Man on a touch phone.
Not to be ignorant on cultures or anything, but this looks like something for the Chinese and Japanese people. Like, they do these kind of things all the time.
I can see that. There's like the way that the Japanese culture is. They are all about really tiny things. I mean, they've been miniaturized. I'm not even exaggerating.
Be
They've been
careful there. You're working on thin ice.
But
Well,
I mean,
that's
they've
the Snupcast. Bye.
But I mean, they have this fascination with like shrinking things down into a smaller thing. Like everything there, like their cars are small, their houses are small. I mean, my brother
penises are small.
and sister-in-law were stationed in Japan for 3 years,
Okay,
and they kept talking about how everything
I have to
is
stop you
smaller.
for just a second. I do this all the time, but Ultima, do you actually think out your sentences before you say them?
No,
No, he doesn't.
no, I don't.
All right, carry on.
Carry on.
I'm being serious. I just as proof of concept, like I said, my brother was stationed over there. He even talked about the downsizing of everything over there. Their cars are like cans. It was the equivalent. He said it's like driving a tiny little bean can.
Yeah, I heard that the Chinese are gonna come up with the new smart car. Smart for Chinese. If you know what I mean.
That's an episode for a new podcast, I promise you.
Smart for two.
But no, I do agree though. Sorry, Nico. I do agree with what you said there, though. That pointing out that this could be more aimed towards like the Chinese and the Japanese, and I agree with their constantly shrinking, products. Like here in America, everything has to be freaking massive. Like we got friggin' Hummers on the roads. I mean, come on.
Yes.
Those things are gas guzzlers. I mean, you don't see a lot of tiny cars. But in Japan, that's like a normal thing. Like everybody has the smallest little car. Everybody has the smallest little house. Everybody has the smallest little dog.
But it's kind of weird. At first we had very fucking big cell phones. Then we had very fucking small cell phones. And now we're going back to big again.
I
So-
blame Apple because they just don't know what the fuck they're doing.
No, I could go for
To
a
be
long
fair,
rant.
though, we're going back to small again with the Apple Watch. Only you need a big phone for it.
Yes.
So
Might as well
they're
just
on the right way.
strap the phone to your arm.
Yeah. With the Pico Cassette, just for practical issues I'm having with it, aside from just controls, battery life. I mean, goddamn,
Yes,
it's a
and it's
fucking
gonna stick
cell
out
phone.
from the bottom of the phone.
Here's the thing. People already complain about their lifespan on the cell phones with not being able to charge it whenever the fuck, which I can relate because you cannot plug it in when you're on the move all the time. And it's still a phone at the end of the day. It's not meant to be a gaming console, which means battery is going to have to be prioritized for actual phone calls, messages, or fuck me if it happens something and you actually need to get in a hold of 911.
You know what's even funnier? When I click the image to make it bigger, it's actually smaller on the website. So
I noticed that.
enlarging a picture, well, I guess it reflects the news quite well.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
here's-
the downsizing of everything.
Here's the ultimate problem with that thing. Interesting concept, but there's no way they're going to be able to fully implement it to make it even tangible, in the sense that pirates are going to figure out a way to crack it, steal the code, find a way to basically root it into the device and just play it without the device there. So, yeah,
Pretty much.
interesting concept, but it's not going to stop the key problem that it's trying to solve.
I have to stop the podcast and ask what the fuck is a bisnitches?
A what?
That is like ghetto slang for like bitches.
I see. So I am being called a dog,
Yes.
which is a hairy animal, so it's pretty accurate. Okay, cool.
No,
Right.
you're not being called a dog. You're being called a snitch dog, which snitches on people.
Yeah.
You hush your mouth, boy.
You hush, boy.
Did you just snitch on me?
Oh,
Yes.
Boys, Nintendo NX uses cartridges. A rumor. How do you feel about this?
I'm okay with this.
I mean, it's Nintendo. I guess I would be too. Nintendo going back to a console or like cartridge on a cartridge-based console. God, that was hard to say.
Yes.
Yes, cartridge-based console.
For them, it's not a big deal because they kind of always had their hand in the cartridge. But if, like, say it was somebody like, Microsoft or Sony with the Xbox or PlayStation going to a cartridge, everyone would flip shit. So I think it could be a smart move to maybe differentiate themselves, unless they have, like, something bigger, in mind with the whole idea of a cartridge. Like, I don't know. I don't
But
know
it's
what
actually pretty cool because the consoles nowadays are becoming more and more redundant. I don't see the
From what I
future of
understood
consoles.
from it, they have actually filed a patent
Yes.
for having a cartridge-based gaming system.
Filed in February, released in August 20.
And supposedly one major reason why Nintendo would go down this route is because initially, during the 64 versus the PlayStation, Nintendo lost a shit ton of it because the games were more expensive, for a reason being that cartridges at the time were getting more and more expensive to produce. The price tag of it has become more decent, and at the same time, they're trying to get rid of the game installs taking space on the hard drives. Because the cartridges, what they've been experimenting on at the very least has been 32 gigabytes.
My question is, though, what about updates on the games?
There's still gonna be updates that you can download.
It'll be
with it.
just like the Game Boy. Yeah, they'll put a patch into the memory that uses that and then combines it with the cartridge.
Unless they're gonna
update
build
again.
a cartridge, put a CD inside, so it's still a CD, and then put the cartridge in the system, but it's actually a CD, and they are not
So
telling
what you're
anyone.
telling me is that they're going to do what Sony did with the PSP.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
The PSP is actually a fantastic
There's UMDs,
console.
that's what they were called.
the PlayStation
Universal Media
Portable
Disc.
is awesome.
Yes, except the
PSP
UMD that
was-
sucked.
The Vita can go fuck itself. To be fair, it's still good, but just not getting enough support.
But what does this mean for collecting in like 50 years if we have cartridges from like 2018? Is it gonna be collectible? Is this gonna be the next Nintendo 64
If
thing?
they're going back to actual cartridges, like the problem still is just if they release it in this way, like how much of it will be DLC or update fixes through online, because that's gonna affect the collection value if you cannot actually play the game because it's broken from the get-go. Capcom.
I believe one of the major reasons they're doing this is the loading time.
Yes.
Loading games from a hard drive is much slower than loading it from like a NAND memory. And the entire purpose of going with the cartridge is to have a NAND memory cartridge, which loads everything incredibly fast. So it's purely just for quick loading. But one could argue, why don't you just put an SSD into a conventional console and have yourself fixed that way?
Why don't you just make a PC?
I'm not really sure what to think. If they are in fact going back to cartridge based, I think that they had lost potential with, even with the Wii U, because I was thinking about it and I was like, well, what if they built this in X to the cartridges are actually what's supposed to be a 3DS game, but then I got to thinking, well, that's two screens. And they really lost an opportunity to be able to implement that with the Wii U, I feel.
What the hell is a Wii U?
That's that thing
It's
that
the
has
console
two...
everyone hates.
Yeah.
It's it's the second generation Wii with the tablet.
Sarcasm. But yes.
Yes.
But as far as
Cartridges, like, I like the idea. I'm just not sure how it's gonna work for Nintendo at the end of the day. For one thing, what does it mean with backwards compatibility with the Wii and Wii U?
Non-existent.
There would be no backwards compatibility.
That's the thing.
especially if there's no disc slot, for the fact that, like, the Nintendo Wii and the Wii U both use discs, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
But here's another thought. What if that slot is meant for something
Keep it
else? No,
Keep it clean.
I was going to. I wasn't even thinking that. But I can't think of what else it really could be for. Maybe it is legitimately going to be for just memory cards and not games. But I don't know. I'm not sure. Because other than that port, there's nothing else that could really be used for gaming, right?
The the biggest problem right now that consoles are fighting against is the fact that they are becoming too similar to one another. Not to mention the fact that they are essentially becoming PCs. Just
Yes.
Yes.
Like when...
Not-
sorry.
I was going to say they're not exactly better than a PC. I mean, consoles have one thing advantage over PCs, which are nice: fixed hardware, which means developers that design a game have to make it work on the hardware that is stuck in the console. There's no, oh, there's a better video card, or there's more RAM, or it's got 8 cores instead of 4 cores, or anything like that. And that's the fight that PCs constantly have. So having optimized games with a restricted hardware set is always appealing, especially to console gamers. Not to mention the fact that hacking and mods and other stuff are not generally available for the console market, where it is for the PC market. But that introduces a whole different mesh of problems. The problem I've seen with the cartridge thing is that what happens if the cartridge goes bad? You don't have it on your hard drive. Now you got to go get another. We're reintroducing all the old problems that we used to have with cartridges,
Which were non-existent because they last forever.
I feel like consoles should have always been like consoles like the NES and the PlayStation 1. They should have never gone to like even be remotely PC-like. That's what's gonna kill them in the end.
The thing is, I mean, it all got switched immediately during the early Sega years when they actually introduced discs to begin with, playing music. They wanted to do more with it, and Dreamcast and PlayStation followed up with it.
At this point, there is no reason anymore to buy a console except if there's like a
there's
special
no reason.
game for it. Like
It's
if you
all about
just
the
get this for this one
exclusives.
game.
kind of, not really. Some people don't like hooking up their computer to the TV, and they'd rather play games on their TV. Consoles are definitely more appealing for that kind of audience.
There's not many pluses though anymore. If you compare what the NES and the PlayStation 1
The
were
line
to
is getting
PCs.
thinner for sure.
No,
Like
no,
10.
there's a couple ones. Cost of the console's cheaper overall than having to continue to upgrade your PC.
I'd
That's
argue.
true.
You can go and get some cheap parts, or just buy from like online or from someone
that's
else.
the
and-
assumption that you actually know what the fuck you're doing, which most men playing consoles, which I imagine still is teenagers,
Fair
actually
point.
having time to play, they probably won't.
But if you really think about it, it's a valid
People are
strategy.
lazy. I think
Here's-
we're getting closer to the end of an era, and that's all I can say. But at
And-
the end of the day, fuck you, Casey Steele.
Okay.
Go on.
I was gonna say though, this is where, as much shit as everyone gives Nintendo for being gimmicky and all this other shit, this is where I think that they have an idea of where they want to go with their consoles. Whereas a PC, you can do literally anything, and with an Xbox One, it might as well literally be a fucking PC that you plug into your TV. That's literally what it might be. I mean, you know, or might as well be. But with the PlayStation 4, it feels like that's kind of the weird little bitch in the middle. Like, it's kind of the PC that you hook to your TV, but it doesn't do everything that your PC does. It's for gaming. But then you have your Nintendo Wii U, which is, yeah, you plug it into your TV, but then you've got the handheld tablet thing. So you get this, like, 2-screen experience. While gimmicky, it is completely different of a concept than its competition. And that is something that I do have respect for Nintendo for, despite everyone treating the Nintendo's Wii U like this little redheaded stepchild that they can just beat the shit out of.
At the same time, I mean, you can actually plug in the Wiimote to an emulation on PC today as well, so you can actually get the Wii experience for it as well.
I do remember hearing about that.
The line is getting
Yeah.
thinner and thinner, and eventually consoles will die off. The question is just when. But to stick with the topic, what do we
You can
feel
do the
about
same
the decision for Nintendo going back to cartridges?
If they do
for
go back
it.
to cartridges, I would be okay with that. Like I said at the beginning, they are the ones that still have all this time clung to the cartridge in one way, form, or fashion, even if it was just their handhelds. While this change wouldn't be as big, it's not going to be as big a deal for Nintendo as, say, Xbox or PlayStation going to console or going to cartridge.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to see how it turns out. And how Shikaroxen's keyboard turns out.
Yeah, sorry, I'm chatting with the Twitch.
So-
I am on my way over there to break it.
So I will say this. I'll say one thing about Nintendo. At least they're trying to innovate, unlike Xbox and
Yes.
PlayStation, which are really just trying to be the same thing every generation, just with improved graphics, bigger storage, and better online play. Nothing really innovative except for the Xbox's silly little gimmick, which never took off. That's with the Xbox One camera thing.
Well,
But at least Nintendo's trying.
Yet at the same time, though, Sony is the ones that's been the most consistent towards gamers. That's respect.
I agree with that. I agree with Shikaroxen on that point. They have been the ones that try to look out, I think, the most to their audience that they have built up over the years. Yeah, they don't change the formula a whole lot, but at the same time, they don't really need to. Because everybody knows that the PlayStation is going to... They know what they're getting when they hear the word PlayStation.
Yes.
Yeah, at this
And-
point, it's been around like 20 years, I think.
So, whereas Xbox keeps changing things to be more like a PC, and Nintendo continues to be more and more unique with how they approach things with their consoles, PlayStation's been the little engine that just keeps going, and it knows what it's doing because it does the same thing, but it keeps doing the same thing better each time.
Just gonna say one thing. Cough, Windows 10, cough!
That's
right.
So, all forces I.
Yes.
I think it would be good. Yeah, I'd be okay with that.
And I will tell you
I
about...
don't have an opinion.
I'll tell you a little bit about the summer stream while the cat is on my lap. And I'm trying very hard to open the browser window. And not to swear. Alright. So the summer stream 16. I will not show this to you. But it's gonna take place in a few weeks, 18 and 19 of this month. Schedule is a bit different this time. It's not gonna start at the morning, it's gonna start at the middle of the day. Finish time actually 3. So that's 3 finish time and until pretty much 5 in the morning. And we'll start on Sunday at the same time and probably end it 5 in the morning in Monday. We're gonna play stuff like Battletoads. We have Super Mario Brothers. Of course, Mega Man, if you guys know what that is. Not sure.
Never heard of it.
Yep. And we're gonna play some Cards Against Humanity since people actually want us to laugh for 3 hours.
You know, whereas I stop breathing because I'm laughing so hard,
Yes.
or I turn into a pig again.
And then something
Yeah,
completely different.
I'm gonna ask one thing, Nico. We need like a 5-minute break just before we start that so that we can relieve ourselves.
no drinking on Cards Against Humanity.
Oh, there goes my plans.
I'm talking like water because you're gonna suffocate.
Oh, fuck yes.
And
Yeah, you'll piss yourself or suffocate, one of the two.
we have
Can I
something
smoke
quite different
inside?
this time. We're doing Crash Bandicoot 2 with no spin. That's gonna take
Was
a
it-
couple of hours.
Was it Crash Bandicoot 2?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, that's
I was
the
thinking it
best
was
Crash
1 for some
Bandicoot.
reason.
No. And also we're playing Mega Man Unlimited again. We're doing Z Saber only. Then we're gonna have a twin stick challenge on Mega Man games, so we're only using the analog sticks. And we have a suggestion by our viewer to do Mega Man 10, Mr. Perfect Race. So every time you take damage you have to load the save game from the game and try again. Not sure how long that'll take. Then we have the Doom run. I'm not sure if Ultima wants to disclose about the Doom, how it's gonna work.
All I'm going to say is that this particular Doom run, since some of the viewers know how ridiculous I am at the game, I decided, well, how about I just blindfold myself and let people guide me through. So that's pretty much the idea, is that it's gonna be sort of like a multiplayer thing. We got everybody. I'm just getting the stuff finalized with connecting everybody, but
Yeah.
pretty much everybody's gonna be in, and they're gonna cover fire for me, and they're gonna get me through the maps.
Are we doing episode 1 or?
I think we were gonna do the entire classic Doom game, all
Holy
4
shit.
episodes. Yeah, it'll take a while.
How long is that gonna take?
Well, I would say if you guys guide me through, I would say about 30 minutes an episode to an hour.
Okay.
So 30 to an hour, I'd say,
It's
per
not too
episode.
bad. So my question is, can we like kill the enemies, or is that something for you to do?
No, you guys can kill them. I'm not allowed. I mean, I won't be able to see to hit them anyway.
I see. So we're just gonna have to safely get you through the maps.
Yep.
So is there gonna be more enemies when you play with like 4 people?
Yeah, there's more enemies. There's a co-op setting, and it adds
Okay.
enemies, and it adds weapons and stuff like that.
That's interesting.
Yep. Certain maps, like the enemies and stuff, they're either upgraded or there's more of them, so...
Yeah, but all of these little episodes from the summer stream are gonna be individually uploaded to YouTube. And this time we hope that the summer stream goes better than last time. I actually made sure this time that it'll work. Last time I was using my laptop to stream multi-twitch, and it just couldn't handle it. CPU died, like, sometimes. So the screen froze. So we'll see how it works this time. We have more experience every year.
We'll eventually have a flawless stream. Give us about 10 years or so.
Yes, why is there a Kako demon in the chat?
Because I put a cacodemon in the chat.
Why is there a broken horde symbol in the chat? Not, don't get me wrong. Horde is the superior race, the side to be
Oh
on.
god, a cat. Oh man. Carry on,
I mean,
I'll be back.
Oh god. Nico is being attacked by the cat.
I think we were done with said topic, or was there any more input?
I just
what
have one
was-
thing to say. Nico's cat wins. Ferality.
Ferality.
I do not compute. Oh, look
But
that up.
as far as the summer stream goes, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I'm hoping that Kitsune will be able to participate in a couple things, despite his internet.
Internet cafe, that's all I can give you.
Alright. Moving on.
What Mega Man games we think are bad?
I'll let someone else begin because I know. I mean, people know what I'm gonna answer.
I
This
will
is-
start this one then. I was going to
Take
volunteer
one,
myself, but
please.
Sheikah volunteered me. So, what games I think do we think are bad? Well, personally, and I think like everybody is going to have their own different opinions on this, but there's a couple I'm pretty sure universal. I'll start with mine. I really don't like. I don't like Mega Man 5. I just don't. There's so many things that they didn't need to change in that particular game that it really it infuriates me. Like, why is the whole fucking game revolve around the Charge Buster? Why is every weapon fucking nearly useless in damage except for boss weaknesses? Why does Beat destroy everything in this game? Why do enemies have invulnerability frames to the regular Buster? I can actually understand the last one now because they forced you to go to the Charge Buster in every game. Like,
No, I can tell you why.
or for every situation, rather. Not every game.
The reason enemies have invulnerability frames is because it was the same engine designed for Darkwing Duck, and that's really it. It's the exact
Really?
same. It's the exact same game engine.
How? But why? Okay, hang on. So what you're telling me is that instead of using a Mega Man engine, they use the Darkwing Duck engine for a Mega Man game.
No, they made the Mega Man engine and the Darkwing Duck took it, but they were creating the game around the same time, and thus they had to add in a enemies having vulnerability frames because they didn't want it to be exactly like the same thing for Darkwing Duck.
So they fucked up.
Essentially, they screwed up a bit with when they brought the engine back to Mega Man.
Oh god.
I think
Well, this is
I think 5 is the weakest entry in the original 6. I think 6, even though it has controller issues, 6 is rushed, and that's the biggest issue with 6. If they had the time to polish 6, it would have been quite amazing, I think.
What about Mega Man 6? I love
Mega
it.
Don't
Mega Man
even
6 isn't
go
that
there.
bad.
No.
But otherwise, I think the classic series is pretty good. Like, they didn't really fuck up a whole lot on the classic series. But then you get to the X series. Yeah, fuck X6
Wait.
and fuck X7.
You're skipping an important title in the classic series, but
Eight.
still carry on.
I don't think there's anything wrong with 8. Other than, yeah, maybe they did design it around the Charge Buster. But as far as, like, jumping and, shooting and sliding and stuff like that goes, the game handles really well. I don't see a lot of issues with 8. The weapons are pretty good. I mean, and the voice acting is terrible, but come on. This was like early video game voice acting. It's gonna suck.
Mega Man
Confirmed.
8. Mega Man 8 is like a...
Casey does not have anything against getting molested as child by a clown man. Carrying on.
I'm Clown Man.
Mega Man 8 is probably the first game that I do not want to play. And that's one of the topics later.
Mega Man 8, going into this new season, which if I would have been part of, would have been the one and single most game out there that I would have not wanted to do.
No, this is the only game that I'm, like, never on the seasons. I do not want to play this game. I do not want to practice it. It is so fucking bad.
This is the reason I don't even want to make it part of the perfects. I hate Mega Man 8 for all that is.
Mega Man 8 is the bastard redneck child of the Mega Man series.
7 is fucking god in comparison to this shit.
Yes. Mega Man 7 is actually really damn good.
Carry on.
Despite the
Yeah,
fact that
Mega-
it was made in a few weeks.
Mega Man 7 and 8 do have some ladder issues.
Yeah. And some of the boxes on the like floors and such are not consistent.
Yep. Sliding out of a jump tends to give you a bit more horizontal positioning distance, which almost makes it a requirement to do some of the stages. Both of them share that quirk. There's quite a bit. And I'll let you finish Ultima, because you were going to bring down the list, we interrupted you.
Yeah, no, that's fine. But there's two that I think universally all of the Snupsters hate. And, I mean, I may be wrong with one of them, but I know one of them definitely isn't. X6 and X7. X6 is just bad, but they had direction with it. They knew where they wanted to go with it. But the stage design is bad. None of the weapons are good. The fact that they force you to have to find upgrades that you can permanently have destroyed to beat the game with, that's pretty bullshit. Like, you need the jumper part on X to get into Gates' lab. Like, I think the only other way is using something with the ice weapon, but it's really pixel perfect to the point that, oh, hey, there's spikes while you're doing it. But overall, it just has terrible, stage design. It was incredibly rushed. They made the game in less than a year. Coming off the heels of X5, which was a decent title. But X7, oh god, X7. I don't even think they had a clue what they wanted to do with X7. It's like, we want to make a 3D Mega Man game. We do? Yeah.
We do?
Yeah.
What about Mega Man Legends?
Legends is good. You can go and eat your own dick.
No,
Sir.
but the only thing I hate about it is the tank controls. Other than that, I kind of like it.
I haven't played it so long, I don't remember. But X7 is terrible. X7 is garbage. It is single-handedly the worst mainstream title in the entirety of the Mega Man franchise. Classic, X0, ZX, you name it, it's garbage. It's the worst one.
I'd still play X7 before Mega Man Cross Street Fighter.
I wouldn't, and I'll tell you why. I will tell you why. I'll tell you why I would rather play Street Fighter Cross Mega Man than X7.
You like
It's trying to do and what it wanted to be, and it's a short game. You're not having to torture yourself for 20 hours to beat X7 to find everything.
Why would you beat X7?
That's the point I'm getting.
Well,
Street Fighter Cross Mega Man over X7 any day of the week is that X7, they force you to play as the most whiny-assed fucking loser, bullshit, stupid addition character to the roster in the form of Axel. Axel shouldn't even exist. Storyline-wise, he shouldn't exist. He shouldn't be. But he's a terrible character. And at least with Street Fighter Cross Mega Man, yes, you don't get rushed, you don't get beat, you don't get anybody, you just get Mega Man. But at least, hey, there's some neat weapons in the game. The game had at least an idea of what it was trying to do and what it wanted to be. And it's a short game. You're not having to torture yourself for 20 hours to beat X7 to find everything.
Why would you beat X7?
That's the point I'm getting.
Well, you
Why?
play X7. Unless you've taken a bet from someone.
Yes.
I just summarized every single legit reason why Street Fighter Cross Mega Man is much better than X7.
Yeah, I call bullshit on that one. So,
Alright, Shikaroxen.
fuck Mega Man 8 from the classic series. That's certain. Like, I don't personally enjoy 7 all too much, but I think it's also a question about getting used to the physics. 5 and 6 aren't perfect, but 8 single-handedly is the one of the classic series that should not exist. I cannot speak for Mega Man and Base, and we don't need to have a review of it, but that's from my personal experience.
Mega Man and Base is just hard.
That's the... Battle Network can go fuck yourself. Entire franchise, go fuck yourself.
Yes.
Legends, I'm not a fan of the 64. The camera, just fuck it. I've heard it's typically not that bad, but I would not justify this franchise either. X7, go fuck yourself.
It really is a viable game if you really think about it.
You're dumb.
8, X7, and Street Fighter Cross Mega Man, I think, are the ones I hate the most of the Mega Man franchise. I cannot even justify Street Fighter Cross Mega Man. It's the fact that Capcom actually got into shit
Yes,
and
they should have
decided
gotten
to
in.
help. They should have troubleshooted a little bit more than that. Otherwise, they should have just pulled the plug or just get out of
Yes.
them. That's just bad marketing and advertisement. That knowing that Capcom themselves had a finger to part of that.
Well, they're not
Game.
gonna make any Mega Man games of their own, and might just well put the name on something else. I'm glad it wasn't unlimited.
Don't forget that Capcom didn't only put their name on that and helped market it, but they didn't actually put their hand in the code.
Did you say they did or they didn't?
They didn't.
They didn't.
Yeah, of course they
Yeah.
didn't. It's the
No.
Mega Man engine that every fucking Mega Man fan game uses.
No,
we-
it was something a little different.
I will praise
Okay,
the
a little
idea
different.
of
I didn't
it.
see a difference.
The idea was interesting enough, and it was cool to see some of the character sprites, but clearly everything else went wrong. He did not know how to do a Mega Man game. And I think the issue is that he probably cared more about Street Fighter. Because the bosses, I think, were the ones that probably was the most well executed. That AI is still broken to some extent, but I think
This-
that was the issue.
AI? What AI?
Yeah, well, they all
As
random.
somebody who has played a lot of Street Fighter, the character, like the bosses, like all the Street Fighter characters, they do play like the characters in Street Fighter. I mean, albeit there's no Mega Man-esque AI patterns or anything like that, but they do. I mean,
Well, it
the
would be
same
worrying
moves
if
and
they
everything.
didn't.
So, I mean, they did nail the Street Fighter characters. I will give them that.
But you have to take
But-
that for granted. Of course, they're gonna nail the thing they're going after.
Yep, but they didn't add in like any semblance of an AI like that would fit a Mega Man game. They just spam their moves endlessly.
Yep, sure you can for no reason. It's like you're mashing buttons.
So Mega Man 8 and X7 got most of the votes from us for being the games we think are bad.
I think I was the only one against 8.
I am against 8.
Nika, do you have anything to add?
Not really. I mean, Street Fighter, of course. I did it Let's Play of it, and I did complete it, but I felt empty after
It's
I
a mediocre
beat the
game.
game. Yeah, I just don't like it.
It's a
And-
mediocre game. Yeah, I can see how it can turn off some people, and others think it's really good. It does have a lot of flaws. It's a mediocre game. It's not bad. It's not good. It's something you can play once and say, "Hey, I beat it," and you're done.
Mega Man 8, I can't bring myself to practice it for the season, and that's one of the reasons why we still haven't made episode 2, because I didn't get the practice in, because I don't
Should
want to
we
practice
just-
it.
Should we skip to that topic right away then? while we're at
Yes,
it?
we can do that. So that's one of the reasons it was scheduled for last month, but I don't think like any of us have solidly practiced Mega Man 8. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I have not.
I'm probably the only one that probably has the most overall practice in it.
I have had no practice on it due to partly a lack of time. I've been trying to work more hours to try and pay this, or try and fix this problem I've had with my finances where I'm paying more in bills a month than I'm making. So I'm trying to solve that, which means I've had to cut back on things. I'm trying to get caught up with stuff on my own personal channel that I'm behind on. Trying to hopefully eventually get caught up on streaming. But I'm going to be making 8 a priority on streams, so...
But pretty much we're gonna postpone it so much that we will actually become good in the game and not release shit for you guys.
We're going to postpone it to the point that it will become the Duke Nukem Forever
No,
of
not that
videos.
long. I want to get to Mega Man 9 again because I'm unbeatable in that game.
I'd like to fix that problem.
But yeah,
So
so-
are you done talking about which games are bad?
Yeah,
I'm done.
unless you had something to add.
Yeah, well, everybody seems to skip right past me, just like they want to interrupt my intros. Hi, I'm Felon,
is
and
someone talking?
No, what?
Yeah, I think I nailed that one during the last recording we
Yes.
recorded.
Very well done. Like
so,
a steak.
Obviously, I do agree with the X7. I disagree slightly with X6 against Ultima. It is a little bit better, honestly, than X5, which I didn't like. It's really hard to explain. When I did the challenges originally, I went in with the concept of you're given a grid of 8 Robot Masters, you can tackle them in any order. And the idea, at least for me, is that to do a perfect run, you should be able to start with any of the 8. And I'll give you a perfect example of a game that did not do this correctly. Bucky O'Hare.
Oh yeah.
There is a very large, I think it's the blue planet. You can't even do that blue planet until you get Blinky. So
Yes.
it lets you select the stage. You get about halfway through the first section, and then you realize you can't complete the stage, have to suicide, go back to the stage select, and do the other 3 stages.
Yeah, unless you don't do them in like order, it gives you, and then it works. But that's just dumb to give you the choice.
Yeah, it's dumb to give you a choice and then make the stage unbeatable. So when I look at Mega Man X5, the thing I don't like about it is that the health of the enemies goes up and up and up. So by the time you get to the 8th Robot Mavericks, right? They're Mavericks. They have so much health versus when you start at them at the first boss. It doesn't. It's really hard to explain. It just doesn't feel like a Mega Man game where you can tackle it in any order. At least X6 didn't have that as a major issue. So for me, it's actually X5 over X6. But that's the only thing in the X series. Never played X8, so I have no comment on that one. In terms of the Classic series, yes, I do not like Windows 8 as much.
Windows 8.
Windows 8.
I don't like Windows 8 at all. Mega Man 8, a little bit better, but still don't like that either.
I'm okay with this statement. But nothing is worse than Vista. Trust me. Go on.
Windows 95.
Oh fuck.
I'm not even going to talk about Windows 10.
Oh.
You careful there, I'm
Okay.
rocking it.
Okay, so I do like Mega Man 5. I don't like Mega Man 6 as much. Believe it or not, I'm more about controls more than the gameplay a bit. But I guess that's where we differ from Ultima. And yeah, I gave up on Street Fighter Cross Mega Man for obvious reasons. I haven't really tinkered too much with the Zero series, but it's...
Zero's awesome. I played it.
I believe it's very similar to ZX, and I do like the ZX series. The only thing I didn't like about the original ZX is it doesn't have that sort of stage select, in a sense.
It was a free roaming. It was like a Metroid Castlevania type game.
Yeah, it is, in a sense. ZX Advent actually fixed upon that a bit, which was nice. But with the original game, you were kind of lost trying to figure out where to go. Played a couple times, you eventually figure it all out. So there was no distinct start and finish, which I guess for me, I kind of like having that linear path in a sense. And I like all the Mega Man Game Boy games except for Mega Man 2. I think that's an abomination. And it should burn in hell.
One thing I was gonna... Oh. Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
So, Felon's okay with 8?
Clearly.
I said I don't like Windows 8 and Mega Man 8.
He did say he didn't like it.
It's his favorite game.
On a serious note, adding on to what you said, Felon, talking about the Zero series, hilariously enough, the first Zero game is probably the worst of the 4. They seem to get better as they go. But the first one is the weakest. It is almost strictly like Metroid-esque Castlevania, with the way that it's set up, which isn't bad. And they do have a system that sets you up to start each section where the stages were, but some of the stages are repeats in the first one. That's not the case in any of the others. Like, you literally will go to the robot factory like 3 times, I think. And with talking about being able to start wherever you want in X6, nobody starts Infinity Maginian, and I'll tell you why. Nobody can beat Infinity Maginian without pretty much all the weapons. Unless you're, crazy. Like, more than me.
Well, yes, that's all we think about
I'm gonna argue against one thing though. I like starting with Infinity Maginian because the soundtrack in that stage.
It sounds like the final countdown.
It sounds like the final countdown.
Copyright down.
Your VOD is muted everywhere.
Our podcast is vanishing. What drove us into Mega Man in particular? Let's start with Shikaroxen on this one.
I like boys. I mean...
Let's start with someone else.
Let's never go back. Let's never go to Shikaroxen.
Regardless of what you think about the gameplay in Mega Man 8, but that voice and that sexy boy...
You know what? While we're on that topic, I did get a comment in my latest video, Astroman. Someone said it sounds like Mega Boy as opposed to Mega Man, the way he sounds when he jumps.
Let me tell you, that boy is finger licking good.
See?
To be fair, according to lore, Mega Man is a boy. So.
Yes.
Now, what? Real, man.
It's just what drove me. I mean, back in the day, when I was like 7, 8, 9, or 10. I had the Nesticle 95 emulator.
Oh yeah, like the emulator with the ball sack.
Yes, it was one of the earliest emulators for NES.
Oh yeah.
I had Mega Man, so I mean, I had a couple of games, like 30 to 50 or something. That came off on diskettes.
Floppy disks.
Yes.
All
this
right.
is so floppy. And the Mega Man franchise was something that came along, so I had all 6 games that I could emulate. Like early internet era.
Oh my god.
Good god. So I tried it, and I guess part of why I got stuck with it is just because you could actually choose the stages, which was something that was really neat at the time. I mean, that's nothing you see in every game. So even if I got stuck on a particular stage per se, I could actually choose another, and that's part of the reason why I got stuck from Mega Man, I suppose. And the music also, motherfucker, Mega Man 2 is the best game. So I continuously played some of it, mostly 2, just to see if I could get down more and more bosses, if I could actually learn the stages. I don't know, I mean, it's one of those games where I think provided the most variety from the beginning, and it also provided, with that, more success, because you didn't need to be stuck on the same stage for 16 hours, ending up rage quitting, breaking the cartridge. You could actually just change the stage if it didn't work out for you, and with that you could actually get another weapon that could help you out throughout the other stages.
Pretty much. If you're like stuck on any other game, well, you're fucking stuck. But if you're playing Mega Man, you can have another go at another stage and come back to the other one.
And that's like the difference as compared to like Mario, which I mean, even if you like get to the same stage again on Mario, if you do end up dying, or if you end up losing power-ups, you're pretty much fucked. On Mega Man, even if you game over, you can pretty much continue from the same stage.
Copyright claim.
Yes.
So you started with floppy disks instead of the actual cartridges.
Yeah, I did eventually. In my later years, I did get Mega Man 3 before I got the PlayStation. I had cartridge for Mega Man 3. Then, of course, I got rid of my NES and my collection of like 30 cartridges or something.
Same.
That's the only time I've had a Mega Man game past like handheld era or something.
Alright. Let's hear about Phelan's story, because we seem to skip him every time. So he can't bitch about it.
Hi, my name is Phelan, and I'm about to be an
interruption.
So, I've already explained this. Mega Man 3 was my introduction to Mega Man as a whole, a series. I missed Mega Man 1, I missed Mega Man 2. I think most people missed Mega Man 1 for the most part. And
the front cover.
Probably.
Yeah.
For me, it actually had to do with the fact that we had a local video store that also rented video games in the area.
Yeah, I remember those.
Now it's raining here too.
Yeah.
Don't mind it. It's gonna cause a bit racket.
It actually stopped raining shortly after I said it was. Continue.
So I ended up renting Mega Man 3, not knowing what it was, but the box art was actually really good on that. In fact, when you think about it, from Mega Man 1 to Mega Man 2 to Mega Man 3, Mega Man 3 was...
Can we stop right there? Can Nico actually get the picture up in the Twitch there?
Yes. But also, I think the European box art is a lot better.
Yeah, the European art is different from the American art. So,
yeah.
Anyways, I started playing the game. I start the game, and you got this guy in the middle staring at all these other guys going, Adori, where do you go? And I actually started with Hardman first, thinking, oh, this is maybe like Street Fighter in a sense, where you pick the player you want to play as. And then I get into the stage, and I'm like, wait, I'm not the guy, I'm not this Hardman or anything like that. And, of course, not knowing how to slide... I was instantly stopped when you got to the first part in Hardman stage. So I reset the game, tried a couple other stages, and I'm like, wow, I like this. If I get stuck on one stage, like Shikaroxen said, I can just try another stage. And then when I started getting power-ups and new weapons. It was like, ooh, oh, I gotta beat the stage. I want to find out what this weapon is. Oh, I gotta beat this stage. I want to find out what this weapon. What happens when I beat all these stages? And so that really got me interested in the game series as a whole. And the appeal for the series is just like Shikaroxen said, the ability to replay the game in any order, to start the game with a different rope master instead of the one that you played the last time. And that's where this challenge comes from. Like I said, fresh new game. Can I do a perfect through the game starting at every single robot master?
I do actually prefer the European cover.
Yeah.
It's closer to the Japanese art.
Yeah.
I don't know. I grew up with the American box art, so I guess maybe I'm partial to it. But
Mega Man shooting Sparkman in his dick.
Yeah, and Top Man is coming to his rescue, and Rush is just sort of being an alarm dog.
Where's the Rush?
But,
Top Man, Top Man's in the background going, "Yes, you can do it. Kill that Sparkman."
Cheering him on.
That's funny listening to your stories, because mine is almost exactly the same.
It's funny, they kept Top Man green in that cover, just clarifying the marijuana even more.
Yeah.
Marijuana uses.
But my first game was Mega Man 4, as you might guess. And like...
Check this out.
What?
I was going to say, check it out. Mega Man could just skip the Rope Masters and go right for Wily's castle.
Of course. But yeah, Mega Man 4 is what I started with. And then, like 6 months later, I got Mega Man 1 for my birthday, if I recall correctly.
Oh god, how's that going backwards?
Yeah, and I was wondering, like, it's kind of weird, this Mega Man. It's not like the other one. It's more simple, and it looks a bit it looks more simple. And then I just started playing it, and I realized that it's actually a pretty good game. And I didn't think anything of the graphics or whatnot, because I was only 4 or 5 when I was playing Mega Man 4 and 1, so I didn't really know the difference between numbers, I guess. Like 4 and 1.
Oh, I see.
And I just started becoming good at them, so I kept playing and seeing how fast I can beat the games and how fast I can beat the stages, and started looking for shortcuts. And I didn't know the existence of glitches or anything, but I had a friend across the street who always jumped into every pit looking for secrets, and then he would run into my place and show me, oh, you can jump into this pit in Dive Man stage and get this weird wire adapter. And I'm like, what the hell? Well, I didn't say what the hell when I was like 7. But
the funny thing is, I found that by accident. I transitioned the screen. I'm like, oh shit, no, I'm dying. Wait, what?
This guy like jumped in every pit. I'm not even lying.
The magic of the old era.
Yeah.
Is he also the one that told you about the one up at the beginning of Cossack stage?
No, I found that myself.
Man, I didn't even know about that. It was like 30 years later. I mean, what the hell?
Something just hooked me into Mega Man. I just kept playing it. And I still play it. It's just something that happened to me. And I'm glad that I got the games that I did when I was a kid. And then I kept emulating the games, because I was dumb enough to sell my NES collection when I was like 10. When the PlayStation came out, I'm like, I won't be needing these anymore.
Same.
But now I got pretty much all of them back except Mega Man 1, because it cost like fucking, I don't know, like $70.
I got the NES console back, but I am not collecting the Mega Man cartridges because of the price tags.
Yeah. I actually got a donation. I actually got a donation to the Retro Chab. I got donated Mega Man 4. I am grateful if the donator is listening.
I didn't sell mine. Unfortunately, mine have gone missing beyond my control.
I still have a majority of my collection, so...
This is not so much about Mega Man, but I used to love Nintendo World Cup so much, I used to borrow it from the guy across the street. Like, that was my highlight of the weekend, running to his house and borrowing Nintendo World Cup. And then after like a year, I just bought it from him for like $50. And I'm like, fuck yeah, it's mine.
Nice.
he's like, okay, you can take it. He was like 5 years older than me. But that's pretty much how I got hooked to Mega Man.
Ultima.
Well, this is going to come as
I
no.
have to stop right there. I cannot avoid just. You mentioned Mega Man, and then the other game you mentioned is a soccer game. That's just fun reference right there.
One of the best soccer games ever made, am I right?
I still need to play it.
Oh god.
Yeah, it's good. Go on, Casey.
So, my story is similar, except part of it will come as no surprise, considering who I am as a person. I think, I can't remember if it was my uncle or me that found it, and I was just like, oh, this looks like a fun game, and I may have been 4 or 5, I don't remember, it was a long time ago, but, I rented Mega Man 2, it was the first one I rented, and I don't remember who the first boss I picked was. I want to say the first boss I picked was Flashman. Because I thought he looked cool, and I was like, well, Flashman, okay, well, wonder what this is. So I picked it, and I remember sliding all over the place, wondering why I couldn't hang on to the floors. And I do remember that, regardless if he was the first one I picked or not, but I do remember that. But the reason I think I kept going at it, because this is the game I rented probably like a dozen times from the game store. And I rented it, and I finally got to the point where I was beating the game. I was playing it on the normal difficulty, the American easy, basically. Of course, I was a kid, it didn't matter. But I finally got to the point. I got to the Boo Beam Trap, and I could never beat Boo Beam Trap as a kid. Never, not once. And my stubborn nature is pretty much what brought me into Mega Man, because I would rent it every time from the video game store, and I would tell myself, I'm going to beat this boss, I'm going to beat this boss, I'm going to beat this boss, and it never happened. And then I found some of the other Mega Man games, and just rented various ones. I remember renting 4 once or twice. I've rented 3 a couple of times, but I never rented 1. I think I might have rented 5 once. I never rented 6, and I never rented 1. But when it came to actually owning the games, the first one that I owned was 3. I think 3 was the first one I owned myself. And then I think I got 1 right after that. It was for my birthday. And I remember seeing the first Mega Man, and I was like, what is this? Who are these bosses? And because it has the boxes on the back of the box, or the bosses on the back of the box. And I was looking at them like, well, these are some cool bosses, but who's Guts Man? That seems like a weird name. Lo and behold, everybody knows my history with Guts Man now.
State-of-the-art, high-resolution graphics.
Look at that box, man.
Licensed by Nintendo for play on the Nintendo Entertainment System.
Original Nintendo seal of quality. Premier worldwide arcade game designer, Capcom.
Back to the days where Capcom actually meant something for gamers.
That's not an arm cannon. That's a female object of pleasure.
They don't even have Mega Man 5 and 6 on this page. Carry on.
Wait. Go back for there for a second. It's your worst enemy. It's the Mecha Dragon.
No.
Oh, the Mecha Dragon's on the box. Go back. You gotta go back.
Where is it?
2.
The Mega Man 2.
I am
It's the Mega Man 2
it.
box.
Oh, I see it. I never noticed that.
Yep.
It
Looks like a silver
blends
dragon.
in so well.
Yeah,
I've never
that's
seen
him.
that.
There's the Yellow Devil, even though it didn't appear in Mega Man 2.
What is that
Yeah.
guy with the mustache in the background? What the fuck is
No
that?
idea. Why is it just a floating head?
I wonder if that's not one
Airman,
of those things
Tiki-
from
Tiki
Airman's
heads.
stage.
Yeah, the tiki heads.
Oh, it could be. And then, of course, there's the fish that you can destroy with a quick boomerang.
Yeah, the lanternfish.
That's a weird,
There's-
like, set of characters put on the box. What is the
hey,
black,
but they
black
are
guy
in
on
it,
Mega Man's
though.
chest? Yeah,
But-
it's weird.
Yeah, to finish my little story there, I think in the order that I got them it was 3, and then 1 was a birthday present, and I think I got the rest of them in order except for 2. 2, funny enough, was the last one of the original 6 that I got for my personal collection. So I think the order was like 3. No, it was 3, 4, 1, 5, 6, 2. That was the order. And so it just was one of those things. It's like, you play the shit out of 2 as a kid, but that's the last one you got. And I found it at like a flea market for $7. So that's how I finished my Classic 6 collection. Mom gave me $10 and she said, hey, you can go to this one tent over here and look at some of the stuff that they've got there. And if you see something and it's less than $10, you can get it. I said, okay, cool, thanks, Mom. Went over there, found a guy that was selling some games, and I found Mega Man 2. So, my story of the originals started and ended with 2. So, but I think I kept coming back to the series again because I am a stubborn person. I don't know... sometimes I don't know when to quit when I'm ahead. And I never could beat Mega Man 2. Yeah, I never could beat Mega Man 2 until after I purchased the game. And I think I was starting to get into my teenage years by then, so...
Alright, well I have a quick story about Mega Man 2, and then I'm going to finish with a comment Ultima. Ready?
Yes.
So when I played Mega Man 2, I got to the Blue Beam Trap, and I destroyed the walls, and then I died. I went back to the Blue Beam Trap and noticed the walls I destroyed were gone. So I'm like, Went back to the very beginning of the stage, refilled all my weapons, destroyed as many barriers as I could, and then finally beat the boss. Man, you're dumb, Ultima.
I was 5 or 6. You can eat a bucket of
I
dicks.
was 6
Some
as well.
Some of us beat some games when we were 4. That's no excuse. Although I
beat
probably
Mega
never
hey,
beat Mega
hey,
Man 2.
I beat Mega Man 3 when I was like 5. So, 5 or 6.
I beat all of the 6 original games during Season 1. Go fuck yourself.
What was Phil's comment? Was that the comment?
That was the comment.
Okay,
said,
one thing
dumb,
I wanted to mention about, I guess, NES games in general is what I'm sad about. As kids buying new NES games in the 90s, we threw the packages away. Because that's like it always was packaging. And now they're fucking collector's items.
Yeah.
Yep.
To be fair, I hated all of the boxes that I ever had. Like, I think the only ones I might have preserved might have been the 64 for whatever reasons. I don't know. Probably because the actual cartridges for them sucked. But like I remember specifically for this PlayStation 1 boxes, the cases for them was fucking horrible. They broke so fucking easily. It was ridiculous. I actually switched them to original real like CD disc cases instead and just threw the originals out completely. I think I kept the manuals and I might have kept the like front covers for it, but I pretty much just got rid of the cases.
You know,
at least I was going to say.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, to finish your little thing, we're throwing the box away. At least you don't buy a game, keep it wrapped, and just stick it in the corner, and then just like have it there collecting the value and all that stuff.
Well, I was about to come to that.
I was about to say, are you ever going to play that game? Nope. Gonna let it appreciate. So you don't even know if the game's good or not. Nope.
I have 2 complete in-a-box games. The other one is Tailspin. It's in fucking pristine condition. I found it at a flea market like a year ago for like $25. And the other complete in-a-box I have is Action 52.
That one, ironically, could be worth some money.
It is worth
because of how bad it is.
Yes. I have one factory sealed game, and it's the original release of Kingdom Hearts 1.
Nice.
If
Oh, I wish
can
I also
find-
kept like the DOS boxes, like the old PC games. Those were amazing, the fucking big boxes.
I don't
You know?
own any that are plastic wrapped, but I do own the box to one game. That is the Super Nintendo version of RoboCop vs. Terminator. That game came in not a paper box or a cardboard box. That game came in a plastic,
Oh,
an actual plastic hard case. And I have it somewhere. If I can find the manual and the original game, I could put that on eBay and sell it all together. But would I? Probably not. Because I thought that game is pretty badass. I need to play it again and see if it's still good.
Alright, moving on, I guess. So we don't get stuck here for the whole Sunday. What is our favorite...
Sunday!
What is everyone's favorite game right now?
Who wants to take this one first?
Well,
Now,
we can take
is this what is favorite game that we are playing right now, or what is our favorite game up until this point period?
right now.
I'm going to mute myself. It's raining.
Ultima's favorite game
I'm
is
gonna pretend
Doom.
that I was about to say I'm gonna pretend I'm Ultima. My game is Doom.
No,
Love Doom.
no. You
Speedrun
listen
Doom.
here.
I live
Don't
Doom.
talk for me. I'm just going to mute myself and only unmute if I need to make a comment.
Alright, first comment and I'll make it. My favorite game right now, still Rocket League, going strong. I don't know what it is about this game. It's been out since the last summer stream, so that's exactly a year and I can't stop playing it.
don't care about how old it is. How many hours do you have invested in it?
Let's say, I don't know, more than 500?
I have 350 going strong.
Yep, I just can't get bored of that game. And it's something I play almost daily still. Even if it's just one match, I get my kick out of it. So that's my...
Literally.
Yes, that's my favorite right now. Phil,
What?
you can go ahead and tell me your favorite game is Mega Man 8.
I'm. yeah. No, I'm not gonna say that.
I just looked, Nico. You have 538 hours on Rocket League.
I'm actually looking through my games catalog real quick to see if there's another game.
That's still not close to my like 760 hours of Team Fortress 2.
Don't look at my Dota 2.
Oh wait, I'm going to go back and look.
Like 2 hours.
Probably. Can I somehow stream my Steam game list without streaming my Steam password? I'm gonna go in and check. This is the part where we talk
Dota
shit.
2, 485 hours.
Alright.
You have more on Rocket League,
Well, that says something.
Yeah.
and it stopped raining again. Okay, sure.
Where can I find my games on this page? Do I click my face?
I clicked your face, so I'm going to assume you clicked your face.
I have a different list for, like, favorite games of all time. But this question was just right now. I'm not sure if this was sent to the Ask Anything portion of our websites. Actually, I'm not sure at the moment. I did buy the Gungeon game. Oh god, what the fuck was it called?
Dungeon Siege.
Enter the Gungeon. And it's a lot like Isaac, but it didn't hook me as much. But it's still a good game. I might go back to it in the near future, but it's not my favorite at the moment.
Yep, I have 738 hours of Team Fortress 2 and 100 hours of Final Fantasy 7.
I will probably answer the question with, overall, series, Mega Man, obviously. But in terms of games that I'm playing right now, sadly, a little embarrassingly, I will say World of Warcraft.
That's not embarrassing, boy.
That is sad, boy. That is
It's not.
No, it's not.
There's nothing sad with that.
I will answer this proudly with my favorite game of all time, still The Guardian Legend. Nico, get an ad for it. Just get the picture up.
I'll get the picture up.
But if I had to go with something I'm playing right as of now, It's possibly Final Fantasy X HD remake that got released on Steam, because I never still kept around the PlayStation 3, 4, or Vita, so this is the first time I've actually been able to play it. And I'm also still switching between Rocket League and Worms Armageddon. That's the cover. That's the European cover. It's the best fucking cover of the game, I swear.
That is a really good cover.
I love that cover. That's like my all-time favorite cover of a Nintendo game ever. I swear to God.
The American cover is so fucking weird.
The American
It is
cover
so
is
bad.
shit. They had a lot of live action.
Which
crap
is
going.
the American cover?
I'll show it. It's the first one on the list.
It's the red one there.
Yeah, what is that?
Like fucking trying to give kids nightmares or something. Like it reminds me of the opening of Power Rangers, the original series.
Yes.
It reminds me kind of a Shinobi, but minus the mask.
Yeah, I'm really fucking.
I'm not kidding. Like the Guardian Legend, it
What?
sort of makes me think of a ninja game.
Is there a remake?
The what now?
HD remake. I have to open this.
What?
16,000 views. Fan-made remake of the title screen. I see. I thought it was the game.
Man, that's bullshit. Yeah, no, there's. They have not been allowed to actually re-release it, even like digitally through WiiWare or something, because of some legal issues between the companies. I think there was different companies distributing in America and Europe. One of them called Brotherbound, I think, and there was some issue with it. So it's never been re-released anywhere. People are complaining like shit ton, but the NES one is still the only version.
I just found Duke Nukem Forever on my list. I have 61 hours on that game.
I am now showing my hours on the stream, if you're curious. The Binding of Isaac hours, I have like 400, but for some reason it stopped counting at 72, no matter how much I played, so...
Weird. Risk of Rain we should consider again at some point.
I hope they...
If they fix the controller issue.
If they fixed it.
It was like the game of the year 2 years ago, and then it was the worst game of the next year.
No, it went from game of the year to the worst shit ever, like the same year.
Well, pretty much. So, Ultima's favorite game is Doom?
Well, actually I have two answers for that one. Doom is the first one. Doom is the new Doom is amazing. Like, if I had more time, I would still be streaming it or something, but I'm going to be learning to speedrun it, like, straight up legit. I've got to get with King Dime on that one. Get the Doom 4 Discord so I can go and make notes of all the skips and strats and stuff like that. But the other game is Undertale. That is less a game and more of an experience. Holy shit!
Heard about it. It's the
I have not played Genocide Route. I still need to do that, and I'm going to be doing it on the stream at some point. But holy shit, that game is crazy. It feels like Earthbound. I mean, Earthbound is still my absolute favorite game. Period. I as much as I love Doom, I just something about Earthbound, but it reminds me of Earthbound, and it has this unique everything really. So.
Oh, I still need to get Watch Dogs. God damn it, Nico.
But yeah, I guess if I had to pick two games right now that I would say my favorites for the moment would be Doom and Undertale. So. I did have a recent stint with Honey Pop, but I haven't picked it up since I did everything in it. So.
Oh, Gauntlet, Nico. What happened with that one?
Which one?
Gauntlet.
I don't know, I just got bored of it really fast. Little ad here, if you want the best racing game ever made, go get Midnight Club 2. Even if you don't like racing games, you're gonna fucking love this one.
I'll put it on my wish list for you, Nico. How about that?
Cool. It has
Best racing game, Micro Machines.
This game has the best music ever.
I was a fan of the Sonic racing games, so...
Well, on that note, boys, I have to take a leave.
I see. Well,
So, is that everything, or
I
I think we already covered
everything.
the last
I
topic.
believe we
Yeah.
covered everything.
Cool. So tune
Yeah,
in
the
again
only
next week. Same best
Ta-ta,
time.
bitches.
We'll have more topics then for next week, I guess.
Yes.
Yes.
Take
But,
care.
Bye, everybody.
Yeah, the reason we're not releasing episode 2 is because Mega Man X sucks.
Yes.